Did you know the Lamborghini Miura was the first ever supercar that was inspired by a race car? In the mid-1960s, Lamborghini engineers Gian Polo Dallara, Paolo Stanzani, and Bob Wallace wanted to build a race car. Ferruccio Lamborghini wasn't interested, but he gave the engineers, all in the late 20s and early 30s, permission to build a sort of a race car for the street. The result was a game changer that single-handedly set the template for the modern supercar. The name Miura was inspired by the legendary Spanish fighting bull breed, symbolizing the car's bold and aggressive nature. As Harry Metcalfe of Harry's Garage details, is what happens when you give a bunch of visionary designers and engineers the freedom to build something without restraint. Which also led to many hurdles, as Lamborghini's only available high-performance engine was a 3.9-liter V12, and it was way too big to fit longitudinally above the rear axle. To solve the issue, Lamborghini simply turned the engine sideways and came up with the transverse mid-mountain engine chassis. The car maker presented the new chassis at the 1965 Turin Saloon Auto Show, and even though it literally had no exterior body panels, people instantly fell in love with the idea, and several orders were placed for the future car. As groundbreaking as the Miura was, it's not without problems. The transverse engine layout made packaging the gearbox and differential quite difficult, and its shape creates pronounced front end lift at speed. Metcalfe also notes that the Miura has an inclination to catch fire. But as soon as he revs the 430 horsepower V12 engine, all those problems just disappear. Driving a Miura is an all-encompassing experience, requiring all of your mental and physical facilities. It seems like a brilliant way to spend time. Now you must be wondering where this madness and passion sprouts from. Well, it's no secret that Lamborghini was born to compete with Ferrari. While the company's roots were planted against Ferrari, the two companies actually went in different directions. Ferrari focused on race cars and motorsport, while Lamborghini decided to beat them at building luxury Grand Tourers. In reality, the Miura was developed against the wishes of Ferruccio Lamborghini, as he wanted to focus more on Grand Touring cars. However, the engineering team decided to take a crack at Ferrari with a sleek mid-engine design. The car was an instant hit and showcased the potential of Lamborghini in the automotive space. Although some people might argue that the 1965 Ford GT40 Mark I was the actual first mid-engine supercar in the world since it was released earlier, and while that's partially true, the GT40 was never really designed to be a production vehicle. Ford only made road-going versions of the GT40 race car because of Le Mans regulations that required production versions of the competing vehicles. The Lamborghini Miura was the first mid-engine supercar that was actually built from scratch as a road-going vehicle, with no competitive racing intentions whatsoever. The Miura jump-started the mid-engine trend, and many performance automakers jumped on the bandwagon afterward. Not only they were seen as more attractive vehicles, but having a full-sized engine weighing down on the vehicle's rear axle translated to a balanced weight distribution and improved rear-wheel traction, which greatly enhanced handling. In simpler terms, it was pretty much impossible for a front-engine sports car to beat a mid-engine one around the track if both had equal specs. Did you know that just like Miura, McLaren F1 was the first ever hypercar? Click on this video to learn more.